AITA for not forgiving my ex after she believed her sister's lies? This initially took place back in 2019 when I was 28 and she was 28. Her sister was 20 at the time. Let's call my ex Mel and her sister Sarah. So me and Mel had been dating for 2.5 years prior to the event in 2019. We were pretty happy as it went along and we were considering renting our first place together. I'd had other financial commitments before 2019, and I was considering asking her to marry me in 2021. Mel had a sister called Sarah, who I got on pretty well with. She was a lot more of a party animal compared to Mel, so it wasn't unusual for her to come in at 2 a.m. when I was crashing at Mel's place. Both Mel and Sarah still lived at home at that point. One evening Mel's parents were gone for the weekend and Sarah was out partying. Mel fell asleep early, so I went to chill out in the living room for a little while. At about midnight Sarah stumbled through the door and came in to say hello. She sat next to me and I was asking her how the party was and why she was home so early. She'd said she wasn't feeling it and the party was boring, so she'd come back early to go to bed. She was tipsy but fully aware, no slurring her words, etc. We were talking for a bit and Sarah suddenly tried to kiss me. I was shocked and backed off, asking her what the hell she was doing. She said she'd always thought I was cute and that we should hook up. She took her top off, no bra, and said it would be our little secret. I bounced out of there and went straight back to Mel's room. The next morning I left early. I decided I needed to tell Mel what had happened, and so by the evening I decided I needed to call her. I never got that far. Mel texted me first in block capitals asking me if it was true. I asked is what true and she said, did you make a move on Sarah last night whilst I was asleep? I instantly denied that and explained what had actually happened, that Sarah had come home drunk and we talked, she'd kissed me and I'd instantly left the situation. I asked if Sarah had told her this and Mel sent me a screenshot of Sarah's Facebook, where she'd posted that I had kissed her when she was drunk. To say I was angry is an understatement. We argued and I pleaded my innocence, but Mel eventually responded with, my sister is many things but she isn't a liar. I can't believe you did this to me. She then ended things and blocked me. I messaged Sarah asking what the hell her problem was and she instantly blocked me. I tried to explain the situation to my friends but a fair few of them sided with Mel and Sarah, except my best friend Simon and a couple of others. I was even getting called out in our old Facebook and WhatsApp group chats. After 3 days of trying to explain I'm innocent, the first gave up. I blocked everyone who didn't believe me on all social media platforms and tried to move on. It was difficult. My confidence was shot and my faith in people was gone. I absolutely did not trust women, so I refused to date. I just kept my head down and moved on. A few months later the pandemic hit and I decided to nuke all my social media accounts, Facebook, Insta, Reddit, etc., and take some time off. As COVID lifted I began to hike, hang out with people more and even dipped my toes in the dating pool. Fast forward to last week, I decided to start new social media accounts. I made a Facebook, Instagram, Reddit and LinkedIn and added a few bits, then mostly left them. However, starting again meant all the people I had previously blocked were now unblocked. And I hadn't really spared them much thought to block them again. That is until a couple of days ago when I received a Facebook message from Mel. It was a paragraph of text apologizing to me, basically saying that her sister got drunk on New Year and blurred out the truth of what happened between me and her to Mel and her friends. She said Sarah had admitted Hard always fancied me, was jealous and made a move but I'd rejected her. Mel said that this had caused a huge argument and she'd stopped speaking to Sarah until last month. She apologized for not believing me and for encouraging our friendship group to alienate me. She asked if we could possibly meet up and talk, catch up, etc. I didn't respond until a couple of days later, as I was understandably a little bit shocked. I spoke to Simon first, who gave me advice and said he'd back me either way. I ultimately decided to message Mel back and say that it was too little too late, she'd allowed her sister to ruin our relationship and my life and I wasn't interested in forgiving her or making amends. I also responded with, now you know that your sister is many things and a liar. Mel eventually responded and said I was being an a-hole, that this was 5 years ago and there was no need to hold a grudge. I just blocked her and went about my day. A few of our old friendship group reached out and apologized for their behavior, some reached out to call me an for being blunt and petty with Mel, and Sarah reached out to say I should get over it, that I was being rude and a disk. I blocked Sarah, all of our old friends and anyone else I thought might be a problem. I mentioned this situation to some of my newer friends and some thought I was justified, others thought I should have forgiven her but just then ignored her. I'm a bit conflicted on whether I am the or not. So Reddit, AITA for not forgiving my ex and reblocking her, her sister and all her friends? I should also point out that I don't think Mel reached out to rekindle our relationship. From the looks of her Facebook, she's engaged and due to be married next year. I'm pretty happy just being single and living life.